So there's hundreds of different techniques of ways of meditating. They almost all boil down to what's the mind doing and what is the mind? It's sort of self-evident that you're awake, you're conscious right now, you're not asleep, you're not in a coma, you're aware. But of course, the mind is going here, there, and everywhere. That's natural. So you don't have to try and stop the mind from doing what it's supposed to do, which is think, conceptualize, form ideas, memories, imagine. That's what the mind does, just like the ears hear, the eyes see, the tongue tastes. What we can do is create an intentional awareness. What am I choosing to attend to with the mind? We often start by attending to our sitting posture, the felt sensation of bones sitting, the muscles holding the bones into a certain configuration, a proprioceptive sense of our body in space. And then we're often directed to know the breath. Intentionally direct attention to knowing the breath. The mind will still say, hey, look at me over here, pay attention to me. But just, you can, like one of my teachers said, you can just put that baggage down for now and pick it up later. Go back to knowing your natural. Can you be aware of the entire flow of the breath? Is there any break in the flow? Especially notice the transition from inhale to exhale and from exhale to inhale. Can you sustain awareness, attention, throughout the entire circular movement of the breath? Again, it's simple knowing, no manipulation. You're not trying to make it into any sort of special yoga breath. Just staying with it. Now relax your knowing of the breath in isolation and just open the mind up, rest back in awareness. Knowing whatever is arising. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om 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 Yogena Chitasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Chavaichakena Yopakaratam Pavaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranathosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasiddharinam Sasrashirsam Svetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hari Om. One little correction. If you have a devotional bent, you could also just chant your mantra, imagine your teacher, imagine your personal deity, your God, your goddess, divine mother. You can also just do heart practice. You don't always have to be, what's my mind doing? It's nice to kind of go back and forth sometimes. In the Buddhist tradition, they have this thing called Guru Yoga, where you literally imagine your root teacher and realize that their mind is the mind of the Buddha, which is, guess what? Your mind is just like their mind in its true nature. There's even this prayer like, ultimately I'm the same as the Guru in essence, for the nature of the student is the same as that of all the Buddhas. We have the inherent quality to be able to wake up, to be more compassionate, to be more connected. And that, plus a little health benefit of doing asana. What could go wrong? Have you ever read In Light on Pranayama in the back? Nobody ever reads that section where Iyengar talks about doing mantra with your breath. He didn't emphasize that very much at all, but it's there. He recognized that was part of the tradition. And sometimes when my mind is really just, as Minya Rinpoche likes to say, yada, 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 blah, 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 right? Your mind just says yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Look at me, look at me. Sometimes that's when I'll just do some chants. I'll do them. I might do them out loud, but I'll just do internal chanting, either my mantra or chants that I've learned, just to keep my mind busy doing something else. That's also the nice thing about asana practice. It gives us As we like to say, it gives the monkey something to do, the monkey mind, right? If you don't give the monkey something to do, you'll probably just, well, you can't go out there and cause trouble like you normally do. So that's what my teacher Ramadan said. One of the main benefits of yoga is you're not out there causing trouble. You're on your mat. All right, speaking of, that's my little sermonette for the evening. So we're going to start with the standing Uttita Hasta, Padangushtasana. Let's see if you can see my, so I got how am I going to do this? So I have a desk here that I'm going to put my right leg on. You can use a chair. I changed the position of my camera, so I don't know if you can see what's going on here. Don't worry too much about the video anyway. Just pretend you're at the yoga studio. Okay, so facing you can use the back of a chair or any sort of ledge, whatever works. So my right foot is up on my desk or the back of your chair. If that's too high, of course, you can always drop it down. And then the left foot is pointing straight on. You essentially are standing stand in Tadasana. Make the hips compact. The right hip, the raised leg hip, tends to lift up a little. So drop it down, levelize it. Check to see if it's rotated. Take the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, exhale, extend forward, hold the foot, move the belt if you need to. Extend the torso forward, out over the leg. Draw up from that inner left thigh. Don't let the right hip swing out. Keep it in. Go on extending to your capacity. Keep the foot very wide, a nice Tadasana foot. Okay. Inhale, come back up. Take your left hand to your outer right calf, ankle, or foot. And take the right arm, extend back so you're twisting. If you have a hold of the foot, actually slightly lean back. Pull up and back. There we go. All right, rotate back forward. Then you have to step down, probably. And now the right leg goes to the side. Kind of like a Ardha Chandrasana position. Just so that the hips are squared off. So most people, the leg is going to be a little in front of you. Tuck that right buttock down. Take the top inner left thigh up and back. Take the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Is the right hip back behind the left hip? If it is, either rotate the pelvic rim more or bring the leg a little more forward. Take the arms wide, Larry. Extend those elbows. Turn the palms up more toward the ceiling. That's it. Take your right hand to your shin or your foot or loop a strap if you need to. Side stretch. Take the left arm out to the side. Level with the shoulder joint. Now you're going to poke that left hip out. So bring it in. Lift up off that left groin and extend the right floating rib away from the pelvic rim. And inhale, come up. Okay, change sides, left leg up. figure this out probably by the end of COVID, huh? Left leg up. Stand in Tadasana. Take the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. The right leg from ankle to hip coming in toward the bone. Lift out of the groins and exhale, extend forward. To the shin, to the foot, to the wall if you're on a chair. Or even beyond, those of you who have more range of motion. Inhale and come up, right hand to left, left arm extending back, twisting. With the right floating rib, twist. Collarbones wide. Okay, release, turn forward. Take the side position. Left heel up on the chair. Align the hips. Extend the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Left hand to the foot. I'm going to cheat here and hold on to my. There we go. All right. Come out of the pose. Go into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Make the circle of the palm as big as possible. Push out through the fingers. Draw the outer arm up and into the bone. Extend out of the armpit chest. So you're contracting your erector spinae muscles of the back. As you draw back from the armpit through the waist, the hips, top of the thigh moving as far back into the socket and up as you can. Untuck the chin a little bit. And then come down. Eventually the head goes to the floor in this pose, for some, as long as you don't do banana dog. Of course, then your earbuds fall out. So. Okay, stand in Tadasana. I'm going to change the view here. Yikes. Hey, can't see my upper body, but that's okay. Have the feet about hip width apart. The sequence is going to be Urdhva Hasta, Utkatasana, Uttanasana, a few times, okay? So, stand in Tadasana, the feet can be slightly apart. Then take the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Tuck the sit bones under. Take the arms as far back behind the ears as you can and sit down. Minimal leaning forward. Look up slightly. Exhale to Uttanasana. Inhale back to Urdhva Hastasana. Clasp your elbows above your head. Keeping the arms in that position, come to Utkatasana. Weight back on the heels. Lift up from the diaphragm. Now extend the arms. Exhale to Uttanasana. Inhale to Urdhva Hastasana. Those of you who can do Urdhva Namaskar with the hands, joining the palms, interlocking the thumbs, do that. And go to Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Gradually work your way deeper into Uttanasana. Walk the hands back. Keep the length in the waist, the sternum. If you can take the hands even farther back than the heels, fine. Thighs roll in so the sit bones, sacrum are widening. The loop continues as the pelvic rims roll toward each other and back it up through the groin again. So it's like a loop. All right. Inhale to Urdhva Hastasana. Anjali Mudra Tadasana. Okay. Take this posture most of you are familiar with, where the right leg comes into Ekapada Rajaka Bodhasan. Right knee is out to the side, the right heel is by the hip. Left foot is pointed back, internally rotated. Lift up, bring the hands close to your leg and lift up. So make sure the back leg and the hip rotate in. So the right hip draws back a little, left pelvic rim rolls forward. And walk out. If you can go down to your forearms, do that. Keep the pelvis level though. There's a tendency to tilt. So the sitting bones, pelvic rims are equidistant to the floor. Extend back through the groins. So the heads of the femurs come deep into the socket, sit bones open, sacrum widens, pelvic ribs roll back through the groin. Those of you who can go farther out and bring the head down with extended arms, do that. Go to your capacity. Again, very important, keep the hips level. Okay, walk the hands in. We go back into downward dog. We'll skip the part where you reach back and bring the foot to your head, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll skip that part. Okay, enjoy the downward dog. And swing the left leg up. Knee is out to the side a bit. It's not straight ahead. Knee is out to the side. Heel is by the opposite groin. Bring the hands in close, lift up. Make the hips compact. Pelvic ribs roll forward. Lift up behind the pubic plate through the sternum. So if possible, be on the top of that back foot rather than the toes turned under. Can't really see. Extend the leg back. Turn that outer hip down a little forward. Lengthen back. Get as high up on the knee end or thigh as you can. Then go to forearms. Levelize the pelvis. Feel free to go out and take the head down. Those of you who have that range, extend the arms. So Larry, your right hip is way too low. Lift it up. You're tilted way over to the right side. I think your left knee's actually too far out to the side. Yeah, a little, there you go, okay. All right, press the palms, lift up, step back into downward dog. There, that's better. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, now we're going to do the supine version of that. So may I have your attention, please? So I have a block here. The block is going to go under my head for support. Okay, we're going to start. I'm just going to put my right ankle on my left knee. Got it? I'm going to reach under my shin bone. What's going to happen for some people is that right knee and thigh is going to come forward. I don't know, maybe I have to go sideways. You want to keep the shin as straight across your body as possible. You know that version of Padangusthasana where you hold the foot behind the head? We're not doing that. Don't freak out.
Come on. All right. Something for the head.
Right ankle on the knee. Reach under and hold the shin bone, but I keep the foot dorsiflexed. And then a lot of you are just going to stay there. If you can, though, the right foot goes into the crook of the left elbow, the other arm wraps around, and then you extend the other leg. Otherwise, you can just hold the shin with the foot dorsiflexed. So get into that position, whichever one you can do. If that's too far, you can just hold the foot, but keep that shin straight across your body. The right knee goes a little away from you. The right heel comes a little towards you. You pull. Have enough height. So keep the foot dorsiflexed. Very strong Tadasana foot. Don't crank the ankle. So instead of holding your foot, hold your shin bone. And now extend that inner heel. And if you can, the right foot goes in the crook of the left elbow. Then the right arm wraps around the knee. And then you rip a few of your hamstring tendons. No, please don't do that. That's where you need the extra head support, right? Okay, good. Now keep the foot dorsiflexed. Then, see if you can extend your left leg. If not, just keep the foot planted on the floor. Spin that thigh in. Okay. Okay, jump into Chaturanga Dandasana. No, never mind. Second side. Okay, look. This is, can you see my foot? Some of you are sickling your foot. Do not sickle your foot. However you hold the leg, the foot stays in Tadasana. You wouldn't curve your foot in Tadasana, yeah? All right. Maybe some of you don't realize I can actually see you. You could turn off your camera if you wanted to. So rather than hold the foot, when you reach under, just hold the shin bone. If you hold the foot, use the foot to help you dorsiflex the foot. There you go. Now, if you can, extend the right leg. Careful, careful. Draw the left heel toward your left shoulder as you move the root of the left thigh deeper back in the socket. It's quite a delicious stretch on the outer glutes. It can be pretty intense in the groin, so don't overdo it. When was the last time you gave your leg a hug? Okay. Yeah, we don't pay attention to our bodies until they break down on us. Well, not us yogis. All right, release and come out of the pose. Okay, then sit on the floor. So, the left foot's on the ground, shin bone is straight across. I'll adjust the camera a little. There I am. Right ankle goes on top of the left. Both feet are dorsiflexed.
Oh.
Can you see now?
Yes.
I would always ask. Can you see now? Now, if this knee is up here, I suggest you quit yoga and take up something like macrame or decoupage or knitting or something, okay? If the leg is way up, put much more height under your butt, but also support the gap. Okay, support, mind the gap. Right, James? Mind the gap. Okay. Dorsiflex the feet. Pull your sit bones away from your ischial tuberosities. Sit up tall. Woo-wee. Tell you what. Then you take a strap.
Now you tell us. Okay.
Betsy, remember those 3-hour hip and groin classes, right?
Yes.
Take a long loop. And you put it around the lower foot and the upper leg, and then you cinch it up. Oops, I gotta scooch forward a little. Okay. So, Dr. Turner, sit on a bolster. Okay. So you're all cinched in, you're on lockdown.
Lower foot and upper leg.
Woo-wee. Lift up and out of the groin and extend forward. Or just touch your hands in front and go as far as you can.
Thank you.
Heart center moving toward the fingertips. You will hit that intense stretch rather quickly. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Keep lifting up away from the pelvic rim to move forward. Do not hunch your back. This is not the hunchback of East LA. Whatever part of LA you're in. The hunchback of South Minneapolis. Keep going. Those of you who have more range, keep going. Ooh. All right, slide the hands back in, sit up. So the next stage is I'll scooch forward.
Are we gonna go forward?
I'm gonna put a bolster here because I know I'm gonna need it. Is to lie back with the strap and extend your legs to that bolster support. Almost very few people can get their legs back on the floor. Have enough height in there to support the back of the thigh. Extend the groin. Good to have room to extend the arms over the head as well. Keep the strong dorsiflexion of the feet. Inner thighs, hamstrings come toward the inner thighs to the sockets. Hamstrings toward the sit bone. Strong dorsiflexion that actually protects your knee joints.
Oh my God.
Mark, see if you can get that ankle on top of the knee. Don't let it slide down onto the inner thigh, that upper leg. Yeah, better. Then extend the arms over the head, slightly wider than the shoulders. You should have enough support on the leg so there's still a sense of the root of the thigh descending downward toward the socket at the back of the pelvis. It shouldn't feel like it's gripping or hitting hard toward the flesh of the groin. If that's happening, please take more support. Otherwise, you're just straining. Okay. That's fine, Larry. Good enough. Oh my God. All right. Hopefully you can sit up out of this pose. And then you release the strap and chain sides. So always do one pose every day that makes you realize you're really not that good at this. You're not so hot. But don't finish your practice with that pose. Finish a practice you're good at. Maybe like Shavasana. The one pose I can do. At least on the surface. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take the second side. That Ramanan said, don't end your practice on a pose you screw up. Wise advice from my beloved teacher. All right, so we're sitting in, somebody called this the stacked logs position, like you're stacking logs up. So nice dorsiflex. So it's good to create some humility, but don't go so far to create so you create humiliation. All right? Humility, not humiliation. All right, then we're going to put the strap belt on. So we've changed sides now. There's an ancient sculpture of a guy sitting in a cross-leg posture with a belt around his thighs. It's rather famous. I'm sure some of you have seen it. Like from 2,500 years ago. Lift up out of the groin and extend forward. If you want to put blocks out there, if you don't have a lot of range of motion, you can put a little extra height up there to prevent, rounding over and collapsing. Slightly hug the legs toward the midline as you draw the hamstrings to the sit bones, the adductor inner thighs to the sockets. Maintain the inner rotation, the sit bones opening, the pelvic rims looping back through the groin. Okay, and then lying back. Take some support. Oops. Remember to have enough support so the root of the thigh can descend. So drawing the inner and back thighs toward the pelvis is very important. Otherwise, the thighs tend to push out against the strap and the groin hardens. Okay, extend the arms over the head. Keep a strong dorsiflexion, regardless of where the legs ended up. So from the inner knee through the inner heel, from the outer knee through the outer knee, it helps minimize the torque of the knee against the shin bone mechanically. And then inhale, breath, come up. Come out of the pose. Now, we're doing this in lieu of being able to do full Padmasana. These poses are done in full lotus. Those of you who can do those, but that's often beyond our capacities. You lie back, you stretch out, you go forward, put your arms through your legs. But great stretches for the hips. We rarely get that kind of a stretch in any other type of body work. Okay. Back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Just briefly, 20, 30 seconds. And bend the knees, come down, and then take Supta Virasana. So integrating the somatic, the alignment and structural symmetry with the joints and spine, integrating the somatic with the pranic, symmetry and rhythm of the breath. And the mind is knowing both the somatic and the pranic. Maintaining the knowing of those two. So you don't just drift off. Those of you with a long practice, be present for any intuitive adjustments the body might make. And of course, make whatever intentional adjustments you feel should be made. And always reintegrating the somatic, the pranic, the mental, the intellectual, and the heart. Gradually come out of Supta Virasana and extend your legs. Shirsasana, head stand. Shirsasana. Salamba Shirsasana 1, to be precise. If you're not doing Shirsasana, take some sort of head-supported forward bend. Take any variations you'd like to take this evening, if any. Squeeze the knees together, Betsy, front knees. Raise the left hip, the side you're turning toward. Ah. Don't let the thighs drop forward. Extend the groin through the knee. And finish up in the next half a minute or so. Don't rush. If you're done, stay. Or if you want to feel like you're ready to come down, feel free to come down. So yeah, knee squeezing, front groin up through knee. Weight tends to shift toward the arm you're turning toward. So equalize the forearms again and again. Navel back. Okay. And come out of the pose if you haven't yet, and rest with your hands. Not bad, Betsy. Room for improvement, though. But when you do I was doing the bent knee twist this morning, you know? So really keep those front knees squeezed together.
Yeah.
And extend that groin up through the knee.
I felt that.
That's a really nice way to start the variation.
Yeah.
Okay, but enough about Betsy's postures and mine. Okay. Viparita Dandasana. If you can do it freestanding for 5 minutes, go for it. Otherwise, use a chair. We should be very thankful for that chair variation, you know?
Absolutely.
It really allows us to keep some suppleness as we get older. I assume all of you would like to get older. Dvipada Viparita Dandasana. Dvipada, of course, means two legs, extended legs. So yoga does not refer to union of the Atman with the Brahman or the Purusha, whatever you want to call it. You are already that. There is no separation. The yoga is an upaya, a skillful means by which we uncover that reality. You do not have to be reunited with the source. You could never not be united with the source. So we have these skillful means, these upayas, that help uncover that reality. In some traditions, it's called recognition, recognizing, re-knowing that which is already the case. The Kashmir Shaivism tradition. And through the asana work, that very basic physicality of a lot, integrating the somatic, the pranic, the mental, the intellectual, the heart, we begin to see that they are all part of the whole. They are not separate. Okay, gradually come out of that asana, that skillful means, and set up your shoulder stand in halasana. Sort of like the five sheets, right? They're like Russian dolls. They nest within each other. Or as they say in the Upanishads, Tattvam Asi. Often translated as that thou art, but leave the thou art, just put an equal sign. Leave the get rid of the thou. You are that. Oh, there's that you again. Well, you are.
I am.
So you've got a nice open thoracic now from the shoulders, from the back bend, and you want to bring that into your Sarvangasana. Balancing the energy of Shirsasana. And of course, the beauty of Iyengar's methodology is that the intricacy of the precision of the somatic level is endlessly fascinating. And as your body changes, both through the practice and through aging, it's this marvelous intricacy of readjusting so that that pranic level of the pose begins to affect our nerves, our mind, our hearts. Okay, take halasana. And then roll out.
Oh.
Okay, take a head supported Paschimottanasana. Legs can be as close together or as wide as you'd like them to be. If you want to take a Upavista, you can do that, but have a head supported forward bend. Shavasana. Again, after initially settling, just beginning to rest more, letting go the dynamic poses. What's the mind doing? You can rest in open awareness, simply be receptive. You can do body scan, point by point relaxation. You can do simple breath awareness. So have an intention in your Shavasana, and then stick with that intention through this period of Shavasana. getting the virtue from our practice that the lasting happiness of all the infinite number of beings, all beings everywhere, which, by the way, includes you. Om Purnamida Purnam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti
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 Shanti Hari
Hari
Om
Om
Shri
Shri
Guru
Gurubhyo
Namaha
Namaha
Hari
Hari
Om.
Om. Okay, stay well, everybody. Whether you're from Iowa or California or south of Minneapolis.
So, William, two things.
Yes, sir.
You said, correct my language on this. You said yoga is not a way of uniting the body and the mind as we are already that. It is a way of revealing that connection to you. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's
Atma.
yoga doesn't mean joining the Atman with the Brahman, if you want to use Vedanta terms, okay?
Yeah.
Because they were never separated. It's just all covered up with our samskaras and our kleshas and all that stuff. So the yogas are called upayas, or skillful means, by which we can break through that veil. They use all sorts of metaphors. So we can uncover that which is our true nature already.
So we can break through the BS. Yeah. Okay.
Break through the BS. I like it. Can I use that?
Yes.
I will credit you. Not BKS, BS.
Just BS. The other thing. So I do body konasana for my hips. I do body konasana all the time, like every night. What else can I do to get more flexion? Just get a new body?
Well, body konasana, the kind of work we did tonight, good night, Nicole. The kind of work we did tonight is very helpful. Good night, James. You just got to stretch those hips a lot. I mean, at this stage, Larry, you just want to keep the mobility you have.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully it might improve a little bit, but realistically, it's not gonna that much.
Okay.
But hopefully you can, lessen losing the mobility you already have over time. And that's a great thing, actually.
Yeah. I wanted to hit, when I hit the nursing home, I want to be ready, I just want
You want to be able to walk in. I want to be able to walk in the nursing home, God willing, right?
and moonwalk out, yeah. Okay.
Or the old saying is, the only way I'm going out of here is feet first.
Feet first. Okay. Thanks a lot, William.
All right. Be well, everybody.
Thank you.